Assalamualaikum and good day to my lecturer, Professor Dr. Azila binti Kasim and fellow friends. My name is Muhammad Adwa Afandi bin Jukabli, 265642, and today I am going to present about the best practice of tourism planning and development in Tunisia. Before I go deeper, let me introduce a little bit about Tunisia, or also known as Republic of Tunisia. Tunisia is the smallest country that located in the North Africa region. Their official language over there is Arabic and Islam is their official religion. It is located between Algeria and Libya, bordering the Mediterranean Sea, and it shares maritime borders with Italy. In 2020, it was recorded that they have around 11.7 million of population. And Tunisia is the largest city and the capital city of Tunisia. Other than that, Tunisia is famous for having one of the sites of the ancient Phoenician civilization. Phoenician civilization is an ancient civilization composed of independent city-states located along the coast of Mediterranean Sea. What is so special about Tunisia? Tunisia have many beaches and the country attracts visitors with a number of historical sites such as Village Carthage, which was a new center of the maritime trade empire and the largest metropolis in the world during ancient time. Furthermore, they also have several Muslim kasbahs and ribats for fortifications, fortified Berber greeneries and cave houses, or the remains of Dugga, a Berber, Phoenician and Roman settlement, and according to some of the researchers, it is the best preserved small Roman town in North Africa. Other than that, Tunisia also have the most archaeological museum in North Africa, which is the Bordeaux National Museum. How does tourism start in Tunisia? It started when European travelers had been visiting the country for long as part of their aristocratic Grand Tour. What is Grand Tour? Grand Tour is 17th till 19th century custom of tradition trip through Europe undertaken by upper class young European men of sufficient means and rank when they have come to an age which is usually 21 years old. The internal and external element play a significant role in the development of early tourism in Tunisia. During the first half of 19th century, there was a craze for ancient historical sites and collection for antiques, so more and more voyagers were keen on visiting Carthage and many more to come after 1830, including the romantic poet, literary critics, painters, and famous personalities. These important aristocratic, intellectual personalities and others have paved some grounds for more visitors to Tunisia during the 19th century. Furthermore, some of these personalities also published an interesting travel books on the Regency of Tunis after having toured the country for several months, and their travel books become popular reference for would-be visitors. Some of these guidebooks were similar to the travel narrative with regards to the information one could teach them. And in fact, many of these guidebooks were actually built from travel narratives. Guidebooks were very crucial for the gradual development of tourism in Tunisia. They were practical, utilitarian, and provide up-to-date information on traveling, schedules, transportation, business activities, and a whole range of service and product useful to tourists. Lastly, through travel writing, diplomacy, business and hospitality, they promote Tunisia as a tourist destination. By hosting families and friends, extending connection, creating itineraries, selecting visits and tour, and establishing the ritual of excursion, picnics, and archaeological visit which eventually develop into tourist activities. And it would be not exaggerating if we say that they actually the pioneer of early tourism in Tunisia. Tourism in Tunisia has progressed through several stages and the different types of tourism developed at each stage. Early tourism, as I said before, involved small numbers of European artists and intellectuals and centered in Hammamet, which is one of the cities in Tunisia. This has had a long-term effect on Hammamet, which retained a large culture center. Government tourism policy has been more dominant since 1960s, and as a result, mass tourism has come to dominate Hammamet, drawing large number of beach-loving Northern and Western Europe tourists to the resort. Their impact has obliterated and marginalized the earlier, more culturally focused tourism. More recently, Hammamet's expansion through the development of new resorts in the South Hammamet area has strengthened mass tourism impact. To make Hammamet more competitive in today's worldwide tourism market, all-inclusive resort, the Carthage Land theme park, and the golf course have been created. Hammamet's historic center has been drastically altered, and the retail component no longer serve the local people. The Medina's residential area has been less altered, but it has been affected by the inflow of foreign residents in recent years. From the mid-1960s to the late 1980s, mass package tourism was based on the sun, sand, and sea dominate tourism throughout Tunisia. The period saw the construction of large number of hotels and the consequent growth of Sosse and monasteries as major resort areas in addition to Hammamet and to a lesser extent Diyarbakir. Government strategy in the late 1980s and the early 1990s was to diversify tourism into new forms and new places. Thus, a new resort was built in northern Tunisia, which is in Blaisdell and Tapsel. Golf tourism and heritage tourism also been promoted. More recently, policy has sought to attract higher spending tourists through the development of golfing facilities and all-inclusive resorts like those located in Hammamet and Al Kantoi, which is another city in Tunisia. Despite efforts to diversify and attract tourists away from the coast, beach tourism remains the most popular type of tourism, despite of growing diversity of tourist origins. Tunisia's regional and domestic tourism is starting to increase, aided by large number of visitors from neighboring Libya and to a lesser extent Algeria. The rising availability of self-centering accommodation and second residence for the Tunisian middle class shows trace of the rise in El Kantoini. Tunisians are particularly fond of the aromatic park and Park Hannibal. Domestic tourist growth can help to offset the volatility of international tourism, and it will have different cultural ramifications. Increased visitors numbers are expected to benefit heritage sites. Business tourism is also quickly growing, and this has a variety of consequences. From the various journals and references that I have read, the best practice that Tunisia used to develop and planning their country was to make use of what their land have to offer. As Tunisia is rich in heritage sites and as well as beautiful beaches, they are focusing on the early of their tourism development. As their country begin to become famous and receive a lot more visitors, they are slowly increasing their facilities and tourism sites according to tourist preference, such as golf tourism and theme park. Heritage tourism is important for various reasons. It has a positive economic and social impact. It established and reinforced identity. It helped preserve the cultural heritage. With culture as an instrument, it facilitates harmony and understanding among people. It supports culture and helps renew tourism. Furthermore, in order to make sure that the tourists did not focusing on the place of the country, they also building a separate attraction at the other side of the country in order to minimize the chance of over tourism. Nowadays, tourism in Tunisia has become one of their largest economic income, and it really helps local people with the job opportunities, as well as giving the chance to the tourists to explore and gain more experience on the heritage that they have to offer there in Tunisia. Malaysia also, while developing new infrastructure for tourism purpose, it was also a great idea to promote and improve the quality of what we already have, so our country can give something that we have specialized in to be shown to the visitors that come to visit. That's all for me. Thank you for listening. Until next time. Bye.